Got the new laptop, man. We're trying to, work through it. Word up.
Yeah,
Word up.
a lot
Word
of
up.
fun with that. Well,
That was my patented. That was my patented shot. One thing I could do was finger roll.
All right. What's
come
good,
on,
man?
man.
Another Sunday. How you feeling, bro?
Yeah. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Good spirits. Good spirits. Took that loss, took it on the chin today. On the Freddie McNeil, but then I'm great. How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Look, hey, listen, took a loss, and Freddie McNeil also, man. The injuries and just it's a tough start to the season right now. You know what I mean? But the competition is really good. You know what I mean? It's super strong. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
every team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard the Nets got
definitely.
a chance to take out the excuse me, not the Nets. Pardon me, the Bulls got a chance to
Hmm.
take out the
Yeah,
Hawks.
the Hawks.
You know what I mean? And when I left, I saw everybody there. T. Lee was there, Zach was there, Gerald, like
Hmm.
Rue, most of their team. So any given
Yeah,
Sunday, man, any given Sunday.
competition definitely has toughened up a bit. And now us seeing that Bulls team at full strength, you can see that they're gonna do well, going further on in the season as long as guys show up each week and whatnot. You
Definitely
know.
shout out to Coach Steve, shout out to
Hmm.
Rich, for putting that together.
Yes.
They definitely made some good draft picks this year. Some late second rounders that and third rounders that really end up panning out. You know what I'm saying for them. Some guys that can just hoop. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
in that league, that's what you would need. You need guys just gonna come up there every Sunday and just hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so but
Yeah. Yeah. Just cut the nonsense straight to the ball, and that's how it is. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think all three teams that haven't had a win this season so far in the McNeil won tonight.
yeah,
If I'm not
yeah.
mistaken. Yeah.
um
Yeah.
yeah,
From Francis
Jazz
and the
knocked us off.
Jazz. Yeah.
Yeah, Jazz beat us today. But again, the
Yeah. Yeah.
Jazz,
I totally
again,
forgot. Yeah.
the defending Western Conference champs. Um,
They've
they
been
got
struggling,
talent.
but they got a great core of guys over there.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Any given Sunday, you know what I mean. It is what it is. It can pop off. So but I'm excited about tonight. You know what I mean? Because one of the foundations of Grove Hall kind of was based on, excuse me, summertime basketball,
Yeah.
right? And all of the great tournaments and things that goes on in the summertime. So tonight we want to talk about some of the best franchises, you know what I mean, in the summertime, you know what I'm saying? And like, go into it because it's a rich history and it's been a
Yes.
lot of really good franchises. I mean, when you go back, you know what I mean? So this is definitely gonna be a good episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man. Just I mean, so many teams I got to see. Uh, yeah. I can't wait till we get into it tonight.
Definitely,
Um.
definitely in different eras too.
Yeah.
You know.
Greatest team you've already ever seen put together.
Wow, man, one of the best, most talented teams I ever saw play um, was a Mission Hill team
Hmm.
that had uh, Mike Edwards, Frankie Patton, Jamal Jackson, Randall Jackson, Eggy McCrae.
Hmm.
I know there's some other guys that I'm missing, but like that's the core of it right there. You know what I'm saying? And they were playing one year at the round ball tournament at the Lee School.
Yeah. Jay
And I
Edmonds
mean
might have been on that team
Jay
too.
Edmonds, Jay Edmonds was on that
Yeah.
team. Um Sean Williams might have been on that team
That,
too.
that's both. That's
Like they
slot.
were loaded.
That's
They
slot.
were loaded. They were loaded. That's easily, and this was, I mean, I'm a youngin, a teen at the time. I remember that so vividly because I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like this much talent on one team, and you know what I'm saying? Like they just want to win with all those egos and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, Super Two. What about you?
Man, like, I mean, you don't took, that team away. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna probably sit back and dang, these Titan teams just Titans. Probably one of these Titan teams. Let me see, Mac. You've Raj, you've Fruity, you have at one point you had BJ there with them, Dave Shaw, Juke, like
Juke, yeah.
Definitely a lot of
Cooks.
Shannon was Superman. And listen,
so, and I mean, like, and like, I'll say two, definitely one of the best teams in the summertime. I want to say it was the summer of 2011 or 2013 or something. It was a BG team. And I mean, from a standpoint of like, the thing with them is like, their chemistry is the thing that always like makes them like so dynamic. You know what I mean? But they were so good that they had a guard named Darren Duncan that was coming down here. And he was coming off the bench for them. Like that's how loaded the team was too. But also, Chill he's very big on his loyalty thing, and even though
his core,
no matter how good you are, his core is always going to kind of rein in there. You know what I'm saying? But Darren Duncan, Marcos, Shiz Brown, Jared, Jimmy, like, again, their core, and they dominated, like, you know what I'm saying? They dominated, summertime basketball for a few years, for a few summers, definitely for a few summers, they dominated. One of the guests we have coming on tonight, he's a part of he was a coach for one of the best teams that we saw in the summertime, with Jeff Adrian, Demetrius Nichols, Tony Lee, Blaylock, like, you know what I mean? Like, so, it's
All-American at one point too.
Huh?
All-American at one point.
Who's that?
I want to say it was All-American at one point, wasn't he?
Who was?
Just special guest.
I believe so. Absolutely. Yeah. I believe so, man. So, I can't wait to chop it up with him. You know what I mean? It's my brother. You know what I mean? But you know what time it is. Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
On Dead Dogs, the Grove Hall show got it locked. The best sports show in New England, it's your first stop. See Coach Maine handle topics like he got the rock. Point guard, drop it off, help you find your spot. Payne got the streets on smash. Dropping jewels every time like J-Kid off the glass. And let's keep it real, everybody ain't for real. That's why we got Mr. Maritime here to seal the deal. Tune in.
Yo,
Grove Hall.
What's really good. Grove Hall, baby. You back. You know what I mean?
I love the shirt, man.
Yeah.
I ain't say it in the early going, but I'm sitting here like, all right, I see you.
You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Crimeo for coming through and blessing me with a nice some apparel, man, to rock on the show. But yeah, man. Well, I don't want to keep our guests waiting in the back any longer, man. We need him to come on and talk his stuff, man. Because I've had some battles with this guy, man, in the summertime, boy. I'm telling you, them 2010 through like 20. like 15, like though that 5 years, and probably more for him because I know he's gonna talk about their reign and how long they dominated on, man. But let's welcome the good brother Ken Jackson to the show, man.
Yo, what's going on?
KJ.
What up, what up, what up?
What's going on, brother? How you?
Chilling Sunday.
Yeah. What the Rockets do today before we get into it? What the Rockets do what they do?
Man, you know, a game that we should have never showed up to play, according to some people. You know, we just come out, play basketball. Whether it's a cute game or an ugly game, a win is a win. That's how we see it.
There you go. You
know,
yeah.
You know, some people pick us, some people don't. End of the day, it don't matter.
Right. Oh man, well, summertime, man. Summertime basketball franchises, man. Like it's been some great ones. We were just both talking about some of the best teams that we've like been able to witness in the summertime. So for you being a coach, I mean, I'll save that part maybe about your second, the team you might have liked to coach. But what are some of the best summertime franchises that you've saw since you've been a player and a coach?
I would say you got to give like BG, you got to give them their due. Their due, because it's just a style of play and they have a system and they stick to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had a long run. A lot of battles. They didn't have a lot of the name guys. They just had their guys at the end of the day. And you gotta give them their due respect for that. And they won a lot. They had a nice run. Had a nice long run. Then you have like they didn't play in a lot of tournaments, but like the city of Lynn, like Shoe City, when they put out their talent on one team and they used to come out and play and stuff. Or when we went up there and played, like they put together like tough teams. Like they put together tough teams where like it was like a 5-6 year stretch where like they didn't lose out there.
Yeah.
They didn't lose out there. And then like some of the Boston tournaments they came and had a good showing, you know, so it's like that. You have like even like I'm like a big guy on like what's your identity? So like even running into like Bravehearts, Foster Club, Miller Club, like you knew like what you were gonna get with those guys. Now they weren't like some of the upper echelon teams as far as wins, but as far as wars on the court, they give you a run for their money any given Saturday or Sunday night or afternoon or morning. Like you knew like you had to like bring it. Like there wasn't too many cakewalks. And that's as far as Boston, Mass, I would say like those were the guys. Those were the teams. And then like I would say like hardball, like when y'all got like into it and started like really like focusing on summertime basketball. You guys wasn't no easy out and you won your fair share of tournaments. So I mean there was a time where like I always call it like the golden era, the last of the last. Cause like in my opinion, it'll never be like that ever again, where you have like 5 or 6 teams that have a core of 5 guys that you knew. Like if you seen like Bravehearts on the schedule, you knew they had a core 5. Hardball had a core 5. BG had their core 7. Lynn is Lynn. Foster, he gonna have a core 3 to 4 guys, but then he gonna go get some guys that you never heard of and put them on a team and put it together. Like Miller Club, you knew he had his core 5. Even Soldiers, you knew they had their core 5.
Soldiers,
like they were coming, and like it was no easy out. Shit, we lost at the buzzer in Russ's tournament to Bravehearts. So it's like it was never no it was never no cakewalks in my opinion.
Right. Little.
Nah, he's absolutely right. That was definitely a great time. You know, I mean, shoot, I can even throw Black Magic in there, but, you know, a little bit at the very end. You know, all that. You know, John definitely came through with a couple of good teams. You know, hard-nosed guys that just can go out there and just ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Black Magic definitely was an underrated, like one of those
Yeah.
sleeper kind of teams. Even though they didn't play in too many summertime tournaments, I
Mhm.
I gotta give the Wolverines some love
That's what I
too.
was forgetting.
I gotta give the Wolverines some
That's what I
love.
was forgetting.
Yeah,
I
gotta get
started to say Keith Squad, but I was trying to think of the name.
yeah,
right.
Like them, they put it together. Like they put it together for a weekend or a couple weekends in a row. And like Keith is a no nonsense guy, so like
yeah,
they bringing it, and he's one that will like even with his stars, he's holding everybody accountable.
Yep.
And like
Yep.
you gotta respect that. You gotta
Yeah.
respect that and give him his due respect.
Yeah, definitely. One team we didn't say, man, that I gotta give up is Doughboy. And I
yeah.
played him.
That's exactly what I was
That's
thinking
his
about.
era. I thought
You
you were
know,
gonna bring that up later.
because
I got an
yeah.
opinion.
Okay.
I got
You're
an
right. You're
opinion
right.
on this era too.
We'll talk
You-
about them. We'll talk about them a little later because they're not really in that era
that time.
in
Yeah.
that era that you're
Mhm.
talking about. Doe came up a little bit later for sure. City Team, no. City Team is like they were in
Absolutely.
in that time
City
frame.
team.
Yeah,
Yep.
in that time frame too.
Mhm.
They definitely had their runs where they were just like
They were tough outs. Like
you know what I mean?
they were, and the thing is, like, the only thing is with them was they didn't have a real like local core to them. So when I say like local core, I'm talking about the guys that like year after
Homegrown
year
here.
after year,
Oh, okay.
homegrown, and you knew like you're gonna see these people,
Yeah.
like you're gonna see them. Like I knew like BG, I knew we were seeing Marco, Sean, Jared, Big Cat, Kev. Like I
Yeah.
knew, like we knew we were seeing them. They might have additions, like they brought out Brian Edwards one year. Like we knew the core five that we were going to see. Like we
Mhm.
knew.
Right. No, definitely. Man, Brian Edwards, freaking fudge.
Put it
Fudge.
together.
Trent. You had Danny Delgado. Like,
Put it together.
Yeah.
And I was a team
yeah.
when that crew was really running rampant, but I was around to see it.
Right. Yeah. Man, like it's been so many good ones. Who are some of you guys? We were talking about the teams, but who are some of you guys' favorite coaches, or like who you feel like some of the best coaches? Well, we mentioned Keith earlier, but who are some of the other coaches during those times that really that ran those teams and that were like really, really, good and had their runs as far as domination in the summertime?
You know
Believe
what?
it or not a lot of people like give him his credit, but I'm gonna give him his credit because like there's strategic coaches and there's motivational coaches and there's guys that do both.
Right.
Mhm.
Like for me, like Bob Miller doesn't get brought up enough, and he should.
Yeah.
He should. Like and like obviously the legends like Bean and Chill, like you give them like that's like you give them their respect off the blade. But like
Yeah.
Bob Miller knew how to get guys that fit the way he wanted to play, and like he held everybody accountable.
Yeah.
He held everybody accountable. Now, did he win a lot in the summertime tournaments? No, he didn't.
Not really.
But like you gotta respect a guy like that, and he's underrated. Him and Keith are probably two of the most in Dex. Those are probably three of the most underrated coaches when we talk like that era. They don't get brought up enough in that era. Like for me, in that era, you got to put like Blow, Bean, Chill. You got to put them like up there.
Well,
Like that goes without saying.
I mean, even though he didn't do a lot of tournaments, Sunday, Saturday basketball league, I still got to give it to Ron Diaz. Because for some of the squads that he put together,
word,
smacking teams for years and years, and couple of cute, core pieces of BG were actually from them Green Boys over there. So,
Yeah, I heard that. I had heard that. I
yeah,
wasn't too sure about it,
because
but I heard that.
yeah, my first chip, if I'm not mistaken, I think Reggie Carter, Sean Brown, they were all with the Greens.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And like, who else I want to give? You got to give what is this dude's name? Yeah,
who's on the team? Like, if you can name a couple of the core guys, we can definitely come up with the name of the coach.
I'm missing his name. Oh, I brought it up already. Foster. Like, not a lot of people like Foster.
Oh,
I
the
like
Foster
him and
brothers.
respect him. I respect them two dudes, man. Because
False.
right, wrong, and indifferent, if you play for them, hey, you like the best player in the world for that weekend.
Right.
They ain't shitting on you and like they're gonna big you up. But also like if you fucking up in one of those timeouts, one of them two gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they wasn't afraid to bring guys to CT, bring guys to like New Hampshire, bring guys to Rhode Island. Like they put their money where their mouth was at and took guys that normally wouldn't play to other places and played. And they won some of them places. So you got to respect guys that's willing to put that road work in. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely respect them brothers. They definitely put in some work. Some good teams too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my Mount Rushmore of the coaches that I really like, that I studied when I first got into the game was definitely. I mean, you guys named all of them. Was definitely Chill. Was definitely Blow, Bean, and probably Diaz was the fourth one. But to Booby's point, those underrated guys like the Bob Millers, the Dexes, the John from the Soldiers, and the Keith from the Wolverines, like those again, like those were still elite teams, like also too, like where they could mess around and be in the championship because Bob Miller's getting that New Bedford wave. Like he's getting everything down in that area, you know what I'm saying? Like Brockton, like one of the guys that made me like, yo, I gotta get out of Boston and like start recruiting something.
Start recruiting. Yeah, it became real serious like that.
No, absolutely. And fostering them too, definitely. Fostering those guys, man, because the Booby's point again, like Rhode Island, Connecticut, like they were, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely their recruitment game was crazy as far as that stuff.
Yeah.
Steve, thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we definitely had hardball. We definitely had some really good runs out here in the summertime as far as in the tournaments and the things that we did and the type of players that we started to recruit, and it had to be out of Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like it couldn't be. We had to take our talents further out because it was more than just everybody started competing for like some of the same guys. So it's like, yo, let's get out the city. Let's go to Lynn. Let's go to Brockton. Let's go to all these other places that people aren't really tapping into and kind of get these guys that a lot of people aren't recruiting. You know what I mean? Shout out to Coach Greer, you know what I'm saying? Like who was one of the founding fathers of hardball as far as like laying that foundation, giving that identity as far as the whole dirt dog ugly thing, whereas we didn't play pretty. You know what I'm saying? You knew with us it was gonna be a grind, you know what I mean? So
no scrappy game.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. That's how we had to play because we couldn't match, the threes with the BGs and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So we had to get it other ways, man. You know what I mean? So appreciate you, Coach Steve. We were trying to get Coach Steve on tonight, but he lost his voice earlier coaching.
Y'all play that old school Big East style.
Yeah.
Guys with a lot of heart, just go out there and just execute,
I mean, Calhoun was one of my favorite coaches. You know, I read his book. Jim Calhoun is one of my is one of my all time. John Thompson, like those are some of my all time favorite coaches. So absolutely, I wanted my team to embody those style of plays from those guys right there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, no question. Little.
Yeah, me, my hierarchy of coaches pretty much the same, but I always watched Ron from afar because that was just like the type of person I was. I wanted to be hard nosed. I wanted to be up on you, and like his teams were built that way. They were hard nosed guys, tough guys. They didn't, shoot the ball very well. But they won off of defense and stuff of that nature and smart play. So I've always held him at that high regard, and Bean would probably be my second guy. I've watched Bean, take tons of teams and just going tours and just winning sprees, since young. When he was come by, grab Mike Edwards and Troy Greer and stuff like that, and they go out, and ball. But I gotta give Chill. I gotta throw him in there as my third. Like he said, I haven't seen a coach, win that much. Like Chip, man, listen, every decade, like BG's just been there. Once he got that chord correct, it's just been that way. So, all the way to his teams now, so got to give him his respect there. And I throw my man Main Topic, Coach Main, as my fourth guy, that's my dog. Like, I've seen, I always loved your style of coaching. I've always loved how you went about, picking your players. It was not always about, picking the top guys out here. You always went out trying to find that diamond in the rough and that hard-nosed style. And, so I admired that. So, that's my four right there.
I appreciate it. Someone actually, two people I'm forgetting to say that I haven't talked about, but they were influential in the summertime too, was E. Bradshaw and the Bailey crew, and Malcolm Smith. He coaches high school ball, but he used to coach in the men's leagues before that. And he's another one that I admire from afar, kind of watching how he coach and his style of play and stuff like that. And it was always it was kind of the same things of the Coach Grizz and stuff, like very hard nosed, tough, tough minded guys. You know what I'm saying? That that definitely.
I know I missed one, but Booby's gonna follow up and fix it. I already know Booby's gonna fix it. So for me, it was always like when you like Mount Rushmore. I don't like doing those because I like different coaches for different reasons.
Okay.
I
don't
just base it off like wins. Like for me, like Bean and Chill, and even blow a lot too. Their ability to manage egos, is like second to none.
Right.
Exactly.
It ain't really the tactical. Some of it's like strategic, but mainly their ability to manage egos and to get everybody on one accord for one common goal is like second to none. And like the reason why I have them in like that high regard is because they've been able to do it. I've watched them do it over a long, long period of time. Now, like for Mount Rushmore, for me, like local coaches, I would have like, I would go like, I'll take those three. But on my fourth one, this is where like it's going to change for some of y'all. So I'll take those three. My fourth one, here's what I'm going to take, and I'll tell you why. I'm taking Bob.
Who?
Mark?
I'm taking Bob.
Oh, Bob
Miller.
Bob.
Bob.
I'm taking Bob.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm taking Bob is the same reason I have those other three. His ability to manage egos
Yeah.
Mhm.
and to like go find like diamond in the rough talent outside of the city
Yeah.
and blend it well with the city guys.
Right.
That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
Yeah.
And like he did it so well because like guys love to play for Bob. That's a
Definitely.
skill that like all the great coaches have in common.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go like brains, like I think I can go X and O's with anybody, like anybody
Mhm.
anywhere. But their ability, and like I've been working on this the past couple years myself, their ability to mesh egos
Yeah.
for one common goal is
Yep.
second to none, especially when you're dealing with grown men. That is different. That is a
Definitely.
skill. So for me, it's just those four. Like those four are like they ain't gonna wow you with X and O's. Cause like to be honest with you, it's about the Jimmys and the Joes, not the X's and the O's at the end of the game. At the end
Yeah.
of the day,
Yeah.
it's about who can get the guys to buy into one common goal to get this win, to win this championship, and who
Yeah.
can do it. It's usually for 4 games in a 2-day span on a weekend, which is not an easy thing to do. It's not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No.
So
No. It's
that's where I'm at, as far as my 4. But like
okay.
I hate doing Mount Rushmores because I can go so many different ways
Right.
depending on how we look at it.
Yeah.
Right. Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. What is with the summertime and some of these franchises, what are some of the best like matchups or games that you've saw between some of the coaches that we are
Mm.
talking about, right? So
Okay.
like, there's many ways you can go in this
So
right here.
I'll
But
give you
of all
this.
the coaches we've named, right? If you can pick up to match up some of the best games that we saw in the summertime, and it's been so many, but what are some of the best ones?
So do you remember the Gallivan League when it was like the passing of the torch? When it
Mhm.
was BG versus Titans?
Mhm.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game. Both coaches made the, and I'm young at the time, and I still remember this like it was yesterday. Both coaches made the right subs. Both coaches didn't. As a coach, you want to not get in the way of your players. At the end of the day, you want the players to go out there and decide it between the lines.
Right.
Those two guys on that day, in different ways, Chill did it with his voice. Bean did it with his strategic moves. Like he was playing certain guys on certain matchups for certain reasons.
Mhm.
And like that was that was like my first intro to like the Sunday League. Like, oh, okay, this is what it's about. Like this this was like what it was really about. And I was like, wow, like, and then like over the years I just kept watching from afar. And I'm like, okay. Cause like my dad used to tell me about Bean Brodsky.
Mhm.
So I've heard this name since I was young.
Right.
And then to see him, I'm like, if you look at him, you be like him.
Yeah.
And if you watch him and the way he manages the game and manage egos, you'll get it after a while.
Yeah.
And like Chill is Chill. Like
Mhm.
Chill's ability to keep everybody in line and like for his players to respect him. And believe it or not, Chill coaches his players hard.
Yeah. He
Definitely.
definitely
Not.
does. Definitely
Definitely.
does.
Some people
Definitely
don't
does.
think it's a strategic thing that's going on with them.
Yeah.
Everything is strategic. Everything
Chill
is
lets you know.
systematic with them. And it still is to this day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was
Chill
a
lets you know
great
in a
game I
heartbeat.
saw. That was a great game. And damn, I'm thinking of somebody right now. Was it when we played Lynn at Chill's tournament? 4 overtimes, playing in the dark.
Woo.
I wasn't at that game, but I heard about it.
4 overtimes playing in the dark.
Listen. It absolutely one of the best summertime games I ever saw. You know what I mean? Like, and you just had to be there. That's just one of those games where you kind of just had to be there. If somebody told you about it the next day, you know, and it was
wasn't the
so
full
crazy.
effect.
It was so crazy that the Lynn dudes didn't even come back the next day.
Nah.
They didn't even come back. They came down specifically for that game, and nothing else even mattered. It was like the championship was that day, and it wasn't even the championship. It was like the semis.
Yeah, it was the semis.
It was the semis.
And I'm gonna tell you another game when y'all played BG at Jimmy and them's tournament at Madison.
Ooh.
Great game.
Ooh.
Great game.
Oh, when the light, the power goes out in the building. It's like a 15-minute delay, like, and it just totally kills our momentum because we're just on a run at that moment. We're just on a crazy run, and that just totally just killed the momentum. Now, when it picked up, the game ended up going down. I mean, to the wire. I think that was where Radio went to the free throw line, and he missed the 2 free throws, and then he ended up fainting. He was so dehydrated. He ended up fainting and go to the hospital. Yeah, like dog. One of the craziest games. Oh man, definitely that loss
one,
still like yeah.
That one and there was another one I'm trying to think about. I think it was MLK tournament at Vine. Who was in that championship? But I think the game went to like double overtime. I don't remember the 2 teams. It was a good game, like great game, like back and forth, like real like gritty game. Like everybody was playing hard. Like see, for me, that's what this era lacks. They lack true rivalries. Like that's what they lack because everybody jumps around. Everybody jumps around every other weekend, so you don't get
That same
to build
effect.
that dislike for another crew. You don't get to build it up, and you only can build that up through competition. Like still shop and still. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, but at the end of the day, that's how you build your rivalry. But when you're playing with different people every week, and it's hard to develop a disdain for another team. Like when we played Monty and them up at Bodies tournament. Like when they were like probably like towards the end, and we were young boys.
Yeah.
We were young boys, and we beat them up at Bodies tournament. After that, like we knew, like, oh, okay. We already had the big heads. We was already confident that we could play with anybody. But once you beat guys that have been doing it, it's like, oh, okay. Like we here now.
Yeah.
Like we really here.
Yeah.
So that's different. But we lacking that right now. That true rivalry feel to it.
So today's basketball, you're saying there's no rivalries out here. There's no team that you know that someone's going to put out that you know certain players are going to be there.
Like I'm not in it like I used to be.
Hold on real quick, Booby. Hold on real quick.
Stockton. The killer crossover. Oh, brother. Hardaway leaving Stockton in the.
No, this is a perfect segue now to kind of click over and kind of talk about some of the newer generation teams.
Like for me, like he might be like a little crazy, but everything that he does on that sideline is with passion. I respect it because now he just got to work on his craft.
Yeah.
But like Jamal Coombs, Doughboy,
yeah.
What's the other one? Goddamn, thinking of it. These
McGee?
High caliber.
McGee and them. There's 2 more teams.
Score for more.
Teams. Who? Score for more. And what's one more?
You still got City.
No, not the City team. I'm talking about new. They new on the scene. Fuck.
not Bedrock. Who
Ain't Bedrock.
Because
Bedrock been on.
C's coaches with C's. I mean, Bedrock is Bedrock, but C's coaches with Doe. You know what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Jay's? Steve is saying Jay's team. He's saying, my God, why can't I? Oh my God, why can't I think of the name of Jay's team? Team JJ.
Yes.
Oh, Team JJ. Okay.
Look, if those 5 guys literally kept their core intact from weekend to weekend, we'd have true rivalries by the 3rd tournament of the summer. I guarantee you. If they was able to keep their cores together week after week, we'd have true rivalries for a whole summer. After the 3rd tournament, we'd have true rivalries. No doubt. Because look, they all share similarities. They're all passionate. They all want to win. And they all are holding everybody accountable.
Yeah.
They're like, now, fuck the X's and O's. Because at the end of the day, that only gets you so far. I'm more so like on that accountability.
Right.
If you're going to treat the 10th man on the roster the same way you treat your star player, if you go hold your star player accountable like that, that's true respect.
Right.
And your star player go with it, that's true respect. That is true respect.
Yeah.
Because like I'm at the highest levels of this amateur basketball, and that's the one thing that, like, believe it or not, the greatest players want to be coached the hardest. The best players want to be coached the hardest. It ain't no different in men's basketball. If they respect you and they see like you on the right path to try to get this win, they're gonna go with you.
Definitely.
But you gotta have that aura about yourself.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because like it ain't really a skill game. Fuck skill. Skill is cute when the games is cute. You and I, like all 3 of us know, summertime basketball is gritty. That shit is gritty, man. Especially when you're playing for money.
Yeah.
This shit gets gritty. And like
man said, man, we ain't doing nothing else with money.
Yeah,
like I watched those guys like the last couple of years when I didn't have so much AAU stuff. And I would be home. Like I'd sneak into tournaments and like watch those guys. And I ain't watching for fucking down screen to a Spain action. Like I ain't looking for that. I'm watching to see their like coach decorum on the sideline. Like Doughboy, he don't get too high, he don't get too low.
Nope.
Coombs gets high, but even when he's going crazy, he still can snap out of it and tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Like McGee, believe it or not, McGee has a mind for the game to view it and then voice what he's trying to get done. And he has the perfect like assistant with him. Because he has a basketball guy with him.
Right. Right.
So like it's those things. That's how I watch, like, okay. Because I got away from it for a while. Because I'm like, man, it's just a lot of bullshit. A lot of like playing games. Guys don't take it serious. But now I see it, it's like, man, it's the greatest thing, like, because I'm like, for me, it's all about like passing it down to the young guys. So like I do it all the time. Like I tell everybody, like I'm available. If you want to talk the game, you want to fucking watch the new trends or what's going on, or you want plays or shit like that, call me. I got fucking data for years that you can have. Like I don't believe in like keeping everything to myself. I give it away for free.
Right.
Like that's just the way I am. But I want to see that. I want to see guys get back to like getting those core 4 or 5 guys, man. I want to see it so bad.
That's tough. It's tough. You know, I had a talk with Mike a few weeks back, and he said it's kind of, you know, kids here really just don't want it like that. So he has to go out and get talent from other spots because, you know, they just not they're not that hungry.
And I mean, even if it's going to get a player from Rhode Island, if you get him, keep him. That's your guy. Keep him. Keep your core together.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, when it comes down to stretch, chemistry wins more games than anything.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's some rivalries, but you know, to you guys' point, it's like nobody's staying like, and this is one of the reasons why it's like, yo, I was already like on a semi-retirement anyways, but when I see how these guys are now, I'm like, oh, there's no way I could coach in this era now, recruiting in money terms, because number one, it's to your like it's not a lot of guys playing basketball in Boston like that anymore. Like who the main guys are. Mikey is like the guy. Like he's the Frankie Patton or whatever of the Courtney Eldridge
this time
of his era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's with Doe. You know what I mean? Like so, and that's his guy. So it's like it's very rare that you have too many other like point guards. Again, Mikey and Spence, they play together versus playing against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's tough for these rivalries to really develop when you have everybody like just wanting to play together and
you're
not
saying that like everybody gang up. Yeah,
guys don't want to compete. It's just that's what I see. You know what I mean? Watching the games. I went to one tournament, maybe two of us sometime, but I went to the Lynn tournament. And it's like, yo, who the guys are, you know who they're playing with, but it's like if the bag is right the following week, they're going to play with someone else. And I'm like,
loyalty, man. Like Chill said, it's all about loyalty.
Yo, listen, that's the biggest thing I respect about BG.
We're lacking.
Always kept that core together.
Like
right?
you knew you wasn't like plucking one of us for nothing.
Yeah.
Like we ain't doing it. We rather go down playing together than to go play with somebody else. Like
there was unwritten rules.
Yeah.
There was unwritten rules we had in our era where it was certain players you didn't even try to go and recruit or ask to play unless maybe that team wasn't in the tournament at all. Yeah. That's like the only way. Like, you know what I mean? Like the only time I think Tony Lee's ever played for hardball like twice. He wasn't playing. But they weren't, you know what I'm saying? Like the Six wasn't in it. Mission wasn't in it. So it was like, okay, he's like, oh, I rock with the guys, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, it was just certain guys. You didn't even go and recruit to play. And again, I had guys that teams knew, like they would hit me up for like, yo, what up? You think what's the name will play with us this weekend and so and so? Like that was just a respect that we had with certain players that was kind of like off limits that I didn't even go mess with. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even gonna holler at you. And if I am, I'm gonna holler at your coach first and say, yo, what do you think? I'm not just gonna go to the player, even if I have the relationship with him. I'm gonna go straight to the coach. Because that's how much I respect them. Say, yo, what's y'all not in this tournament? Yo, can I get so and so? And it was like that, yo.
Yeah, but it's a different time. These kids are chasing the bag, and these coaches, they just like, yep, it is what it is, man. You know, they don't care who they snatching from. It's all about the win. Yeah, so it's just different, man.
Whoever got the biggest bag and got the dope entourage, and it's like, yo, you hanging out with us on Saturday nights in the club and all that stuff, yo, it's different.
It's like that here, though. It's like that here in our city. See, like I'm in DC. I'm everywhere. Like it ain't like that everywhere. It ain't like that everywhere. It's like that here. I'm telling you. Like it's like that. New York is a different animal. Because they got like 9,000 leagues. But in like the Chi, if you play in the Chi League, you playing with your core. You down in DC, you playing with your core. You go to Atlanta, they playing with their core. Now they might bring in a ringer or two, but that core five is going to be there. So, I mean, but I get it. I get it from both ways because I deal with it. And like, hey, I get it. Trust me, I get the bag talk. But at the end of the day, like we gotta get back to being who we are. We have to. In order for our summertime basketball to really flourish and get back to what it was, in my opinion. But those five guys, like they love it. Like they love the shit. Yeah. Like prime example, I ain't never had a young dude like Coombs tell me, get your ass off the couch. Come out retirement. And I'm like, Coombs, baby, this is like, I like watching you coach. Because I see the passion behind it.
Yep.
He's like, come on, give us one more summer. I'm like, bro, I'm already everywhere in the summer. But like, shit, if you need me to come help you a weekend, I'm around. I'll come. Like, but shit, I ain't gonna be out there coaching now. I'm just gonna tell you what I see, and then let you do you. Like, do your thing, man. I ain't gonna say my time is gone, but I'm just on a different mode right now, as far as like this men's basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I got one thing I'm doing, and that's the game 7. That's about it.
Oh, yeah! I knew you were coming out of retirement for that one, boy. I knew you were coming out of retirement for that one. You know what I mean? It's all good. SB12 will be back on the sidelines, I'm sure, for Dorchester for Game 7. So yeah, it's that's all right. Yeah, shout out to Shiz Brown too, because Shiz Brown is definitely Shiz Brown is definitely one of we haven't talked about Shiz Brown. I know it's Cho is the president of BG basketball, but Shiz Brown definitely is the VP of BG basketball.
Exactly. Don't mistake it.
Huh?
Him and Marco is co-VP.
Uh-huh.
Don't mistake it.
Word up. Shiz Brown's basketball, and he's definitely stepped in a few times when Chill wasn't there, or with Chill on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? And definitely his impact, you know what I mean, is major. Definitely major on the BG. Little, have you told us about some of your rivalries, man? Who do you like for the new young coaches?
New young coaches? I mean, shit. McGee and Doe. I'm so far away from the younger guys, to tell you the truth, though. I don't really care for their basketball like that. Like a lot of the things that we're talking about, we need to get back to. I'm not seeing, so I'm kind of losing that love to come out to some of these things. But I love some of the teams that McGee puts out. I love his passion on the sidelines, and stuff of that nature. Doe, I love, some of the squads that he's put together. And Mikey's one of my guys, so I always run with Doe. But that's about it, brother. To tell you the truth. Yeah, like when I told you, I can't do these summer terms more. I meant it. Like, basketball is just not the same for me out here.
Yeah, no, listen. I want to say, as the generation started to change, the players, you know what I mean? It was like, it's time for me to get up out this game, man, and let the young guys, you know what I'm saying, do it. I'm trying to think. When was our last summertime? Probably 2018. We won we won Save Our Streets, but we had Piggy, Ray Vaughn, Rob Adams, Asante, Shane that plays with the
Cal
Bucks
Jr.
now. We just had a real gritty, you know what I'm saying, set of guards that was just super hard-nosed, super tough.
Another guard from out in Brockton also. What's his name? Shane Austin? No, Keon. Yes.
Armstrong. He's an AAU coach. Yep. Jawan Gooden was on that team also. That was just a real gritty. That's the hardball team.
They played for heart, man.
Yeah, that was a hardball team as essence. You know what I mean? And we beat in the to get to the championship, we had to play Score for More, the city team, and then beat Play to win in the championship.
Man, that city team was crazy.
All in one day. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to you and Mitch for holding it down that day, because y'all definitely held it down.
Man, that city team had some Jamaican cat that every time he came through, he was banging on heads. And now it's just but I don't know. They stopped playing. We were able to slip back in there. Thank God I had Mitch on the sidelines. They then we had the whole conglomerate for the championship game. We had Gray on the sideline. We had Pumpkin on the sideline. Like, man, that was definitely a vibe, man.
I lost my voice. My voice that game. I couldn't even coach in the championship game because I had lost my voice from the previous game that we had played.
I got mad at you. I told you to shut up. You ain't saying nothing.
Lost my voice. Could not talk. Could not talk at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you know, that was definitely some of the better. And let's give some flowers to Score for More too and Raj. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Because you know, Raj's mind for the game definitely he's definitely one of the best. You know what I mean? As far as his knowledge of the game. You know what I mean? Score for More definitely has had their fair share of championships throughout this run. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Raj is definitely one of those guys. You know what I mean?
They're more of the new school. You would put them in the new school group, though, right?
Yeah, but I put them in the new school.
Yeah.
Raj and them are more new school. Even though Raj was coaching for a while, he's been coaching for a while. But like, I feel I put Raj more new school than old school as far as that, because Raj was playing pretty much like when I was like in you know the essence of coaching.
Yeah,
Raj was a player. He wasn't coaching it, but he's definitely more new. You know what I mean? What you about to say, Booby?
No, I'm saying, yeah, I would put Roger them in the new school.
Right. Yeah. I feel
one thing I like though, like they have so many tournaments now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I like that. Like, it's like when we were in like our run, it wasn't like a lot of tournaments where we could play every weekend.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like you had to like wait and then play. But that's what also made it a lot more meaningful too.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that like every weekend these guys are playing. Like they're playing every single weekend. Like,
it feels like there's more 10K tournaments now than ever. Like the 10K tournaments have replaced like the $2,500 tournaments that used to be. Like it's just 10K.
I was about to say that. I was like, man, dude said, yo, it's only $5,000. That's it. Oh, I ain't playing in that. I said, oh man, y'all bugging. That was like a treat to us back in the day. Like, nah, that was it. I said, this is different.
No, super different. Who are some of the best? Like, if you could, like, with these franchises, who are these franchises like core? So we talked about the cores, but we never really named some of the core players. So who are some of these core players? If you could just go to a 3 to 4 range of just like core players, you know, with certain teams you always saw that were gonna play.
Like in a new school, I couldn't tell you.
In a new school, wow.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Because they change up so much. It's hard.
So I would say for Doe, I know I'm always gonna see Mikey, Jaleel.
No, you can't say that because don't Jaleel sometimes play with score for more?
Nah, Jaleel plays with Doughboy more than Score for More. Yeah, Jaleel plays with Doughboy. I feel like Raj transitioned. So Raj has like the Lyrens, the Bullets.
He's with Young.
Raj just went young. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're gonna see you're definitely gonna see Jaden and more of those two coming up soon. But definitely Raj just went young. I've seen him with the Bullets, with the Lyrens, like that core of guys. Doe has Jaleel, Mikey, Marcus Azor. Like those are like his guys. Coombs has like Dev Palmer, Keon Jones. Like it's certain it's a couple guys that's like staples that you know like they're gonna be like with this team in particular. It could just be like maybe 2 or 3 of them. It's not as many as it was like, you know, in the Chill era, the Bean era, the Mission.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, man, listen, you will sit here and you sit there and go, You're gonna see Juke. You're gonna see fucking Raj. Like you already knew your scouting report. Okay, I'm gonna see Mac over here. I may see BJ here. I may either see Fruity here. I might, I'm definitely gonna see Shaw. You're gonna see Lamb.
You're gonna see Lamb. You're gonna see West.
Like, yeah, and then you're gonna sit on the bench and you're gonna say, "Oh, I see Amigo and I see fucking Mitch over here." So it's like, man, you go 5, 6, you know them by heart all the way down. Like it's just, I don't know, man.
No,
that's what I'm looking for.
Right. Listen, man. One of the best luxuries that we used to be able to have with hardball was we had that Courtney Eldridge like connection, like there, and we knew because that was our brother. We never really put too much pressure on him to play with us because we family at the end of the day. But it was a couple of times where we had to make like those calls, like "Yo, dog," like we need you for this, cuz like what's going on? You know what I mean? That was a luxury to be able to have like Courtney tucked, that you can pull him up from the sidelines, like, oh no, I'm playing with you guys. You know what I'm saying? The Ray Vaughns, because Ray Vaughn, I brought Ray Vaughn up.
Yeah.
Younger. I brought Ray Vaughn
from a young kid. Yeah.
I think the first tournament I ever brought Ray Vaughn to was Ray Vaughn was in high school. He might have been like a junior in high school, and it was the MLK tournament. It was something at the Gallivan that I brought him up to. First time ever, fresh out. He was just so you know what I mean? And again, I have Ray Vaughn from high school to he was a young man, dog. Like he was one of my guys that was always associated with the squad. I knew I had Joe, I knew I had Ray Vaughn, I knew I had Brandon Shelton.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like those were like my core guys that was like always locked in. You know what I mean? In the summertime with us. We sprinkle a few other. Oh, and again, before he started playing with other people, like when he came over the bridge too, we had Tony Gallo. Yep. Tony Gallo was one of our guys that we had and played with us in a lot of tournaments, a lot of big tournaments, man. We went that Lynn route, dog. You know what I'm saying? We was like, we gotta get outside the city, dog. Oh, and shout out to my man Dorian. Shout out to Dorian Brown.
Yep, I was about to say Dorian. You used to always have
Dorian. Yep, definitely.
I never forget. Marcos was like, "Yo, how do you get him to play with the we can never get him to play with BG, dog, but for some reason he'll always come and play with you in hardball." I was like, "Yo, that was my guy. I don't know what it was, man, but we was just locked in like that. Where he had
Dorian was a killer.
Yeah,
was he? Nightmare.
So speaking of Dorian and big men, and who are some of the best big men? And we'll go back to old school then real quick because we're getting down, we're cutting it. So who are some of the best big men for some of these franchises that you guys remember?
Shit.
You know one of my favorites, I'm not even gonna lie to you, and you're gonna laugh. Mario. Mr. Yo, Mario, one of my favorites. You got Shaw, you got Lamb, you had like
Jared.
You got shit for us. It was always JA. It was always JA with us.
Jeff Adrian. Ooh, Jeff Adrian.
Jeff Adrian.
Woo. Yeah, you got who's the big man that Keith used to have?
Seth?
Not Seth. Other dude that went to Merrimack, dark skin, left-handed.
Damn.
Like Olu, what is his name?
And
then who had Orion for 2 years?
I believe Orion was with Foss.
Yeah.
I think Orion was with Foss.
Orion was good. Yeah. I mean, we didn't have a lot of bigs in the city, but when the ones that we did have, they were pretty good.
Yeah.
They were pretty good during that era. You had like
N-Shade Reggie Carter back in his
I was about to say Reg Carter
early
Nightmare.
Definitely.
Damn.
In shape Reggie Carter.
God rest his soul, my man.
Sly Mayberry.
Sly
Sly.
Mayberry.
Yeah,
One of the meanest on the block, man.
man. Listen,
And Cal
hit you with
Hardy.
that.
And
Uh-huh.
Cal Hardy.
Yeah.
Them two, man,
Yeah.
man.
Cal Hardy.
Even
man.
as a youngster, I watched Sly give out like a free shows in men's tournaments, man. Him and Cal, I watched them, man. Man, I watched them.
You put
Like,
them on the same squad, man. It's lights out.
Yo, one of the first tournaments I ever won as hardball was in the Melvia Wright tournament, and we had Sly, Cal, Mitch, Mike McGee, Boo. I'm trying D-Ray, like,
Shooter.
but to see Cal and Sly, like, again, you just knew there was no rebounds. That, like, guys weren't like, just forget about it. You know what I mean? And Sly was very fundamentally sound, but he just played with so much power and aggression.
Yeah.
Like,
Sly run the floor.
mm-hmm.
Like, man, listen, tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you guys think about, like, so I mean, the state of the summertime, you say it's different. Is there a way we can ever get back to those glory days, or is that over pretty much?
I think because of the landscape has changed, like it's so much like trying to get to the bag involved that it's gonna be it'll be tough for somebody to keep a core together.
Right.
It'll be tough because what I don't pay you, the next man's willing to pay you. So I got to allocate my funds the right way.
Mm.
And then, like, let's say I got a budget of $2,500, and I'm trying to give my two best players $500, and then I still got to fill out the rest of the roster with $1,500 because everybody gonna want something.
You know, it's crazy, man. When you talk about street balling and you talking about I need a budget to have to be in a street ball tournament, man. Listen, this shit's wild. It used to just be for the love. Just for the love. Like, yo, I just want to go out there and bust these niggas' ass. Prize money at the end as well. Like, come on, man. You're killing me.
Here, that's just where it's at. In other parts of the country, it ain't that way. It ain't. It ain't.
That shit's crazy.
Shout out to Coach Steve holding us down in the chat because he definitely threw Shaw, he threw Morales, and he threw Torin Francis in our last.
Yeah, Morales, Torin.
Like I don't get. And Torin played with us, but the reason why I don't say him is because, like, he didn't play all the time.
Right.
Like we used him in like money tournaments.
Yep.
Like the money tournament, he played with us twice a year. Like if he was like an all the time guy, you definitely put Torin in there, no question. Torin was mean on that block. And he could face up and hit that. He was like an Antonio McDyess type on that baseline jump shot. Like he could hit that shit all day long. And then like, of course you like, and this ain't for his skill, but like Jarrett Height, you got it. You can't talk big man and impact without talking him. You can't.
Probably for 2 decades, he's probably been the best big man in fucking state.
And as far as impact, like he just impacts the game. It ain't just throw it to the block. Nah, he don't even need you to throw it to the block.
Yeah, he doesn't even need it.
He don't even need you to.
Yeah, he doesn't even need the ball to affect the game
if need be, but he don't need you to.
Yeah.
But his impact, man, is crazy.
Yeah.
But like, man, Jesus Christ. Now, like,
and Troy Gillenwater. We didn't mention Troy either.
Well, another one, Troy.
Yeah.
He only played like money tournaments. But if he was a consistent guy,
you didn't see him enough. Yeah.
You definitely throw Troy in there.
Yeah.
Troy's a nightmare, man. Still to this day, he's a nightmare. Still getting mid 6 figures to play the game. Like,
is he still over? He's still over the water.
Yeah, he overseas
playing high level ball. Still getting to it. So like, man, there's so many that you could mention. But when I mention these are guys I've seen like weekend and every weekend I saw these guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, it'll never get back to the golden era. But I definitely will pop out to a few tournaments in the summertime to check it out, just because my love for the game is never gonna go anywhere. So I'm always gonna still pop out to the money tournaments.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For
If
sure.
you look at like, we might as well get this out the way. You go point guards. Remember, every team had at least 1 or 2 killers.
Yeah.
I can't even say killers. 1 or 2 pimps with that rock. True point guards, like point guards that they knew personnel and knew where all their personnel would be effective at.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's a different time. It's a different game. You didn't really see scoring point guards in our era. You seen point guards that could run the show and then score when need be.
Yeah.
Now it's flipped. Now the point guard is the scorer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they lost that. Like they just lost. Like I think it's like a lost thing, lost art, where as a point guard, you know everybody's personalities on the floor, but you also know everybody's spot. Oh, I can't give it to him here. He gonna travel that. Like it's all about their game now.
Mhm.
Instead of for the most part getting these guys into the game and whatnot.
That's why if you notice when you watch a game and you see a point guard that's really good at being a point guard, you're like, ooh. Like it draws you in.
Yeah.
Because now it's a trickle down effect from the NBA. If you look at like the top 20 scorers in the NBA, I bet you at least 7 of those guys are point guards.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we didn't get to the point guards. I mean, we got maybe about 8 or so minutes before we get up out of here, but we want to run through like some of the top point guards for some of the best, for some of the top franchises.
BG, Marcos, Chris Brown, Darren Duncan.
Yeah.
Us, Will and Stevie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you could take Radio, even though he's a Mission guy. You could take Radio. Hardball's Radio. C. Eldridge.
Yeah.
And what's the other one you had?
Joe
Chapman.
Joe. Yeah.
Wolverines. You got like Zach.
Yeah.
Paul. Zach and Paul. Well, Paul was more soldiers. I guess I associate Paul with more
Paul soldiers.
Paul soldiers. Who else you missing? Who else you missing? Who else we missing?
Titans. Obviously you got the
Titans,
Jukos.
you got Juke.
Yeah, you got Juke.
You got Raj. Believe it or not, Raj.
Yeah, because Raj actually, he did.
Yeah.
Raj.
Lambright.
Yep. Lambright, Ricky Lambright. Who else you missing? What programs? Lynn, you got Double A, Gallo, people like that.
Man. Oh, thank you, Steve. Because I was just about to say Rudolph and Battles.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Miller Club. Battles.
Yeah.
Miller Club.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely a lot of killers.
Shout out to Dex, because Dex definitely had a lot of underrated point guards, and I believe, if I want to correct me, I believe Dex is the one who first brought Brandon Ball around, or that's his first squad that he played with when he came out here. Was Dex. He was Braveheart.
I
talk to Dex every day. That's my man.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm fucking slipping. Ain't nobody talked about Frankie Patton with Black Market.
Listen,
Frankie Patton.
Frizz, listen. Frizz is in that rare air.
Yeah,
because he's played with like different teams over the years. But
he's
in like that rare air. Like I watched him put on shows for over 25 years now.
Yeah.
Like man, he's in like that rare air. Like he's up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a different breed. Like all those guys are great, but like Frizz is like, if you can bottle his game up and master it, and teach your point guard how to play the game.
Yeah.
Frizz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
No question. I saw Frizz and Tim Brown was a backcourt one time. And rest in peace, my brother Tim Brown. Frizz, Patton, and Tim Brown was a backcourt one time. I want to say they played with the Gallivan in a league over at in a league at the Lee School, but they was playing for the Gallivan. I mean, Frankie, man, is just like I don't know if you want to call him like Luka Doncic of like point guards to me, because you're never gonna speed him up. Like you're gonna play at his pace. Really, he's always going to control the pace in which he plays, the court, how he sees it, and he's underrated as far as his like passing and stuff like that. Like he gets buckets, but it's like he knows how to set people up, just make the right basketball plays. And I've watched him in his older career, like go and play with the Titans, go and play with the Wolverines, and everywhere he goes, he just affects winning. Everywhere he goes, everywhere I've saw him play at, he's always just affected how winning is, man. I mean, he's rare. Frankie Patton, you're rare air, brother.
You go like just like basketball players. Now these are just basketball players. You go like Monty, Tony. You go Monty, you go Tony. You go like shit on BG. You got to throw in like, let's just say shooters. Let's just say shooters. Shooters.
Yeah.
Like now, like basketball players, Fudge. Like I used to watch Fudge. Like I used to try to take like that in and out, like that lazy in and out. I used to try to take all that from him. And like he was always the one to do it with a smile, no matter how he playing, no matter how he playing. But like a straight killer, like him, Monty. Like there's guys on that wing that like you knew like you could put them in the books for 20, 25.
Easy.
Put them in the books for 20, 25.
Yeah.
Like so it's just like that era, like on the wing, that era was so like it's hard to name all the good wing players. It's hard.
So that's
that's a whole show by itself.
Yeah, that's another show. We don't got time to talk about all of the wing players. No, we don't got time. I mean, it's
Delgado.
It's Delgado, right.
Like,
Danny, Derek,
Trip Forbes, like it's
even down to Hugh.
Like Hugh, shooters. Like Hugh's one of the best shooters. Like lights out, no matter how we catch it. It's just like wings. You could do a whole podcast on just Boston wings from different programs that could just get to it. Like
shout out to Mike Jones. We have Mike Jones and we have Mike Jones and TP on here with us a few weeks back talking about wing players. It's. If we don't have anything out here, we definitely got wing players for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We got wings and guards for days. For days. So, definitely. I mean, like, trust me, I do the AAU a lot and I do all these camps a lot, but I like being at the crib and like going to like tournaments and like watching good basketball. I like to do that. Yeah. Like shit. Like, I actually miss it, to be honest. That's why every time I got a chance this summer to be at a tournament, I was there.
Word.
Because like you get so far removed from it that like you start to like say, hey, look, what's going on in my own backyard?
Right.
So for me, it's a lot like, I'm involved with the kids. Like, I want to see like all these kids go to college for free. Anything after college is icing on the cake. But like, shit, I like to watch my guys, like some of the kids that are now come through college and they're now just professionals working 9-to-5 jobs, but they still want to hoop. Like I like to watch my guys like that I've helped matriculate to college and now they're after college and they just working 9-to-5 jobs and they just want to like hoop now. Like I like watching that. I like watching it because like I like the shit talk now because now they older. So now they like, I love the shit talk that. So like for me, like that's what it's about. Like I love to come back and watch it. I swear. I make my son watch it with me. Just let him know. Like I make him watch it. Let him know. Like this ain't a game. Like it's for real.
Yeah, definitely. Well, man, we don't want to keep you too much longer, man, on a Sunday, man. We definitely thank you, man. Appreciate you for lending your time and chopping it up with us, man. I mean, always a pleasure. We can sit here and talk basketball all night. You already know how that goes, man. You know what I mean? Always a pleasure.
Like I tell everybody, like I got this saying, and I believe it to be true. Hey, it's greatness around here, bro. But for years, we always been content with just being good. We got to understand that just being good ain't good enough. We got to be great. Like, we got to be great at what we do, especially this basketball thing.
Yeah.
Because around the country, they don't believe that we got the talent here. I know we do. So that's why I'm always pushing. Whether it be a guy going overseas or somebody in the 9th grade. Hey, man, be great. Because good ain't good enough to where you're trying to go. Especially if you're trying to get a free education. Or if you're a guy that's older, you're trying to get money out this game. Man, go be great. Go play for radio in the TBL. Chase your dreams.
Yeah.
Go pay for a G League tryout. You never know. The biggest thing with us is like, it's called the Boston Syndrome. It's the Boston Syndrome.
Yeah.
We won't try. We rather
Right.
not go. We rather not run through that door and try. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
The worst thing it is, hey, I ain't like, look. You can look yourself in the mirror and say,
you
look,
don't
I
want no
gave it all I
regret.
got.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, man, we thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man. We definitely have to pull you back on another episode, man, and come back.
Game 7.
Man. Game 7. Yeah, we good. You know, we're gonna do a preview. We're gonna do a whole show.
Game 7.
We're gonna do a whole show on Game 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're gonna do a whole show on Game 7.
Locked in.
Definitely
We locked in for that.
man.
Okay.
All right, brother. Enjoy your evening, man. We appreciate you, B. Rocking
Yes,
out
sir.
with you, man.
Thank you.
All right,
Salute,
man,
my
appreciate
brother.
y'all, for real.
You already know. Yes, sir.
Always.
All right.
My brother. So I guess that wraps up another episode of Grove Hall.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Good. You know, Booby Man is a basketball aficionado, so you know what I mean? Like, you know, we could sit there, man. Shout out to Coach Steve, Chill. There was a lot of people coming through in the comments.
Charlie Dollars.
Yeah, Charlie Dollars, Basil, you know what I mean? And it was definitely, man, like it was a lot of guys that we missed. I mean, even the George Guyton, Stephen Mejia's, Ryan Edwards. It's so many, man. Our history is it's so dope. You know what I mean? We have so much talent here. So
You definitely have a ton of talent at guard. Definitely do.
any parting shots before we get up out of here?
Shit. You know what? Do I have a parting shot today?
No parting shots.
I don't think I have a parting shot today. I think, you know, taking that L today, like, just took the whole wind out of myself. You know what? I do have a parting shot.
Come on, man.
To my brother Booth, man, congratulations. To the Bucks, congratulations. That's my parting shot. You know, we got y'all on the back end. We'll be back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, shout out to my brother Beans, man. You know, again, I mean, I mentioned him and he coached more of the younger squad, but Beans definitely one of the better basketball minds to just talk to, knows the game, like his knowledge of it, it's second to none. And Beans was definitely a member of the hardball squad. He was on the coaching staff with us in the summertime as well. Just great basketball mind. So yeah, shout out to the Bucks. I mean, they a tough team. It's like I said, any given Sunday, you never know who's. It's a tough matchup every week. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
Gotta get you one of these though, man. Let me know your size. I'm gonna holler at Crim, man, so you can get. You know what I mean? We're gonna get some.
So definitely, yeah, definitely. I see. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get the growth. Shout out to my good brother Jay Branch, Crew Love, who hooked us up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
You know,
salute my brother.
But yeah, man, we'll be back next week. Another episode. Grove Hall,
same
baby.
time.
6:50 for the layup line, but you know some games be getting a little started a little bit late sometimes. You know what I mean? So bear with us, man. But definitely we'll be back next week with another impactful episode. You know what I mean? Talking about our city, man, in Boston, the Boston basketball scene. So it should be dope. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Grove Hall, Coach Maine.
Sam Little.
You already know, man.
Yeah.
I'll be back. We'll holla.